know the difference between a fairy tale and a fish story? A fairy tale starts out as once upon a time, but a fish story starts out as, look, this is no shit. This is the 68th annual Destin Deep Sea Fishing Rodeo. 68 years of this. This is tradition, this is heritage. Heritage started in 1845 when Leonard Destin sailed in from the northeast coast and said, this looks like a good spot.
Used to, people asked where Destin was, you'd have to tell them between Panama City and Pensacola, halfway, you know. But now you tell, oh, I know where Destin is.
Destin Fishing Rodeo started in 1948. It was only 3 days long, and it was to try to add a little something to get some more business. Now it's 31 days long and gets a whole lot of business.
And I'll drink to that. The rodeos started, I guess, more or less with competition between this boat and that boat, and then it just blew up.
And in that time period, there was no refrigeration, so they would build pens around their docks in the water. Today we call them live wells. And they would corral the fish. So when they were naming the tournament, they decided to call it a rodeo, harking back to the days of Leonard Destin when he literally corralled the fish.
We go big fish fishing every day we can, so when October comes around, we're just doing the same thing. We just get to go weigh them up and be famous for it. Man, we got a lot of salty starting with Bruce, our weighmaster, in there.
Big board, first place. I've weighed rattlesnakes, I've weighed dead deer, little kids in the right harness, tailgates, car bumpers, manhole covers, grandfather clock, a drone caught under the bridge. The biggest thing this ever caught was a 1,600-pound tiger.
The prizes back in the first days were things like a 6-pack of beer and a windshield wiper.
Back in them days, I think we probably had 20-something boats in the whole rodeo, you know.
And we've got charter boats, party boats, private boats, kayaks, paddle boards under 25, over 25. We even had some divers stop in earlier and courtesy weigh a couple of groupers. Wouldn't doubt they'll have a drone division sometime.
With the technology we have nowadays, it's easier to locate fish. As far as fishing goes, it's still fishing. You have to know what the hell you're doing.
Told him I wanted to be out there at 6:30. I'll go and get some bait. Fire.
So me and Brady used to start on this rodeo. We'd go every day, 31 days. And the coolest thing about it was the variety of fish that would come in. Every day we had the big snapper, the big trigger, the big jacks. Now, with the limits, not a whole lot you can keep anymore.
We can wipe out any species we want, and then we need to do something to control that. You know, if it's limits, it's limits. You know, Grandpa came down here 40 years ago and would catch all he wanted, but nobody was here.
With the boom and the development, there's more people, there's more boats, which leads to more competition. So it's changing, but it seems to me that we get a lot more new, fresh faces that have never been fishing before.
And it's not a fishing tournament in the typical sense where you pay a fee and enter it. You charter a boat and you can be a part of a rodeo memory, and you didn't plan on that. You just planned to go fishing today. My husband was the deckhand on the Sunrise when I was Miss Destin. He had left a 50-pound grouper hanging on the weigh scale, so I just reached up, pulled that grouper off the hook, and handed it down to him, slime all down the front of my clothes and my sash.
Okay.
He decided then and there he was going to try and ask me out on a date.
I always have said that Miss Destin has to be a girl who can handle hugging up on drunk fishermen and dead fish for 31 days every year.
First place!
I said I'm gonna have to take a shower before we go to dinner.
All right, guys, man, we got plenty of these rascals. We'll go out there and see if we can trade them in on a big fish.
Each kid that weighs in a fish gets a rod and reel. When you see a kid come up there with a little old fish, there's no better feeling. I mean, you know, you watch a kid light up.
It's a competition, but it's a big party. And it's all grown up now.
Destin has changed, Destin has grown. The Destin Fishing Rodeo is still pretty much the same as it was 68 years ago.
Because it really is a community event.
I fished in all of it. Some days it's good, some days it's bad. It's just the way fishing is. You don't call it catching, you call it fishing.
First place!
Gentlemen, thanks for stopping in. Fair winds and following seas. Bring me a fish, and I'll make you famous.